Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Don't hesitate to say hi in the chat. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or X, I'm not 100% sure that we will be able to see your comments. So if you want to hop on YouTube, don't hesitate to do so. Apologies for that. I haven't run a stream on LinkedIn and X at the same time in a while, so a bit rusty. So today I'm joined with Raphaël,
Hey
our
everyone.
beloved CEO of
Hey,
WeWeb.
good to be
How are
here.
you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, good. Very well. I'm
Great.
excited for this live. I see
Thank
Micah
you.
is here. We Micah was in the office hours on Tuesday as well. Hi, Lateral Edge, Shamir Hyman, and on YouTube, Antoine. Hi, Sad, the Adalo guy. Well, curious to learn more about you. Adalo is also an amazing tool.
Yes.
Hi, Jessica. Hi, Fred. Fred was also in the office hours on Tuesday. Really good to see you all. So today, the idea. Oh, Gaspacho is
Oh,
here.
nice.
Awesome. So today, the idea with you, Raphael, you're going to tell us a little bit about what's been happening at WeWeb, what's about to happen. The next kind of give us an overview of the upcoming month, and in the chat, if you have any questions, go for it. Raphael is here to answer all of your questions, so we'll do our best. I'll do my best to moderate, like to get as many questions in as possible. So don't hesitate to ask your questions. But yeah, let's go.
Let's get started. Yes, so I'm excited to be here. Hello, everybody. So I'll just give you really an update on the company. You know what happened in the past few months, amazing things, the health of the company. I'll also update you on the roadmap. We can say a couple of words about the pricing. But feel free to interrupt, ask any questions. I'm happy to make this as interactive as possible. But yeah, so just to get started, really, I mean, the growth in the past few months in usage of WeWeb has been outstanding. Now we are present in more than 90 countries. We cover basically every region in the world, which is fantastic for us. We created this product now 6 years ago, and it's so good to see that it's now used everywhere in the world. We have amazing brands as well, which started to use the platform. The ones that I can mention, so we have PwC, we have Cisco, we have BNP, we have Carrefour, which is also famous globally, and more. I mean, we have a lot of startups and scale
We
ups
have a lot that we can't talk
that we can
about. As a
talk about.
marketer, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. But great names anyway. But what makes us probably the proudest is really the size of the community, which is growing. More and more people are becoming very proficient in WeWeb. You guys help each other on the community, and for us, this is the best reward.
Yeah.
Really, like to see you guys thriving in using the platform, delivering amazing products. And I mean, the acceleration of the platform started years ago, but really we saw an inflection point, I would say, in the last quarter of last year, probably around December last year, we saw an inflection point and growth even accelerated even faster, which is absolutely amazing. So now we're still a small team, as you guys know, but we plan to hire many more people. So we are going to open between 15 and 20 positions in the next 12 months. We already opened. You guys probably saw it.
I'll share the
Seven
link in the
positions.
chat.
Yes. So 7 positions are already open. If some of you are interested, feel free to apply. I mean, we always prefer to hire people from the community who already have, an experience with the platform, obviously. So this will be some bonus points if you already know the platform and when you apply. But yes, if you don't want to apply, feel free to also share it within your network, which we're trying to find the best people to join us. So that's going to be exciting. So yeah, the team will probably more than double in the next year, and the focus will be, to scale the company for really every department at the company. So we'll scale the marketing team, the sales team, the customer care team is going to be structured. We're going obviously to invest a lot in the product I will tell you a bit more about this later, but we are going to invest a lot on AI as well. So we are, structuring the AI department, which will be part of the engineering team, obviously. At WeWeb, we're going to hire dedicated people for all the educational content. So really, hopefully, you guys will benefit from an even better product, even better support. And as we are scaling, we just want to make sure that we remain accessible as we are today. And so, we'll try to make sure that, whenever you need to reach us, you'll be able to. So that's going to be one of our main focus for the next quarter. Yeah.
Maybe before you go into the roadmap, we already have a few questions that are like more like I can take them quickly because I answered a lot of them during the office hours on
Yeah.
Tuesday. So we have Fred who's asking when the new table element will be launched. So I actually talked about this with Flo earlier today. The table element, the new elements, like we're focusing on a lot of atomic elements, and Raphael will talk about it. But we're waiting for that. There's a big update that will come most likely in July. There's a lot of work to be done to remove 40% of the elements that are in the DOM of your published apps. And so we're waiting for that before we started work on this and realized we needed to wait for that. So this is a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
Then we have the question about Xano real-time sockets. So the founders are talking about this tomorrow to prioritize it, but it's likely to be in less than 4 weeks, basically. The idea is we have a big release on the 26th of June. It might be for that release, or it might be a couple of weeks later, but it's something that the team is working on. Same for Supabase real time, by the way. Sad, I will leave your question for Raphael. I think he will. So can we expect a tighter integration with Figma?
Yeah, I can talk about it later, maybe
Yeah.
in the roadmap when I get there. But yes, definitely that's one of the things we'll be working on. AI might be helping with that too. But there are many low-hanging fruits that we can work on without AI. But I'll touch on this maybe when I will present the roadmap.
Cool. And Jessica is saying, please add right-click functionality in the editor, because she's constantly finding herself accidentally right-clicking. So I took a screenshot of this. I will share with I will create a product ticket. Thanks a lot for that feedback.
It's a debate internally, yeah.
Yeah. And Esteban is asking, why did you decide to launch the marketplace without including paid templates? That's super interesting. We initially decided that because we wanted to go fast, and we ended up taking a little bit longer. So I think, Raphael, paid templates will come very shortly, actually.
June 26. Yeah.
So
the marketplace will be launched together with payment. For some who should be good news. And it was at the beginning, it was really a technical decision that we took, like Joyce said, just to ship faster. But eventually we found a way to actually add payments. It's going to be basic payments, but it's going to be functional. And it didn't take too much time to add, actually. So because we built everything in WeWeb, and that's why it was actually faster than anticipated. So yeah, this will be launched together with the payment.
And Jessica is pointing out that the marketplace has been delayed for 6 months. Yeah, so actually the marketplace is in beta. So technically it's been ready for a couple of months. The problem is, like, in terms of like marketing and like getting templates in from our partners and freelancers, we hadn't anticipated how to onboard people and help them build templates that would look nice and people would love seeing on the marketplace. So it's been delayed more because we hadn't taken that full view. But technically, like, it's ready. It looks really good, and I think you'll
mostly
be pleased.
for UX reasons, because behind the marketplace there is actually much more, which is which are the libraries. Like, how do you manage the assets once you bought them, or once you got them for free on the marketplace? How do you share those assets between projects? How do you manage them at workspace level? Can you change those? Can you customize those assets? All of these questions connected to the marketplace itself. When we start thinking about it, we're like, wow, so this is a way bigger topic than what we thought. And so we took the opportunity to actually revamp a lot of the experience around managing assets in WeWeb together with the marketplace. And so all of this will be released on the 26th of June. And that's going to be, you will see like a big change, like a deep change in the way assets are used and exchanged or shared between project or at workspace level. And all of this will be connected to the marketplace, but actually the marketplace itself became only a small piece of the overall topic, which is, if we want to frame it, which is how do you manage assets and share them at community level within WeWeb. And so it was a way bigger topic than what we thought. So it took a bit of time, but I hope you won't be disappointed by what we're going to release. Obviously, it's going to be beta version when we release it at the beginning, and we're expecting a lot of feedback. And then we separated some time to do some iterations based on the feedback to improve it quickly once it will be between your hands. I'm excited about this because it should bring WeWeb to the next level with regards to what's available off the shelves. That's also one of the probably main issues today with WeWeb, is that you have to build everything yourself. It's hard to share those assets. We don't have so many templates that you can start with WeWeb, and so this will change, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah. And Esteban is saying Copilot is great. It's really helpful. So I think
Cool.
you will like what Raphaël has
Many things
to
are
mention.
with this.
Antoine is asking how he can participate in the beta of the marketplace. So if you want, before the release of the marketplace, you can already submit templates if you'd like. So if you have something that you would like to submit, it's possible. So sharing the link in the chat here.
Yeah. And so, feel free to start working on things, and it's good to submit your templates or UI kits before the release, because the day of the release it's going to be available. And the good thing is that it's going to be reviewed by someone in the team before it's being released. And so if we need those assets to be changed, updated, we are very permissive with what you will build. We don't want to be bottleneck to people offering different templates and UI kits, but at the same time we want to make sure that some best practices are being respected. And so we'll just help you with that. So if you submit whatever assets you build before the big release, I think it's going to be an advantage.
So Definity is asking about would like you to talk about scaling the team, and if or how you plan to do that to increase the speed of development and address the technical debt issues.
Yeah, cool. Well, so we don't have too much of a technical debt because we really thought WeWeb to be as flexible and agile as possible since 2021. I would say we used to have one, but it's kind of fixed. Obviously, everyone has always a technical debt. However, WeWeb, the infrastructure of WeWeb and the way we structure the code of the editor itself is pretty flexible, which is good. I think it's pretty mathematical today. The only way to accelerate on developments will be to add new developers to the team. And so with that, we're going to hire 2 to 3 developers just dedicated to so full stack developers, or we might focus on one senior front-end developer, then one back-end developer, and another full stack developer. And those people will just be dedicated to kind of improve the product, add new features, work on the roadmap that I'm going to present. We are also going to hire people dedicated to the AI effort. And then we're going to hire people to work specifically on the infrastructure and all the topics related to DevOps. And then with that, when you have a nice development team, you also have to have a product team that qualifies everything. And so today the product team is pretty limited. It's one of the biggest bottleneck of the company today. And so the good thing is it's not even part of the jobs that we're opening, because we already found someone fantastic who's going to join on the 1st of July. And that person will come as a PO, PM, and he's going to help the product team to qualify faster and help the dev team basically shipping faster. So yeah, all goes, it's merged together. If you think about, shipping fast, you have to think about scaling the product and the dev team together. And so we kind of designed um, an organization that should help us ship faster. At the same time, there is, since we are scaling a lot, there is more and more demand for support. Support has been slowing us down a lot. But the reason why it slows us down is because we wanted to prioritize support. So it might not be so visible for you, because I know many of you are waiting, days and weeks before someone can answer. However, support has been one of our priority. We want to make sure that when some people are completely blocked using the platform, we unlock them so that they can ship. And so
That's
today,
why we do the office hours every Tuesday, by the way.
yeah,
So if you're really stuck and the community doesn't help you, you don't hesitate to join on one of those Tuesday office hour.
yeah, so this should help. And at the same time, sometimes people are stuck for technical reasons. And so we try to, address those issues to unlock them so that, they can continue to build as fast as possible. And so, yeah, today, maybe half of the tech team is kind of focusing on, releasing fixes, um, uh, and doing some support. And so this is also going to change a little bit, because we are structuring a customer care team. And this customer care team will be, most of the people joining will be developers. And those developers will be in charge of, I would say, making sure that every existing user delivers, right? And so we should also be able to accelerate on all the support. And that's why I was saying at the beginning, many of you started to use WeWeb, say, a year ago or two. And so at the very beginning, it was very easy to access us, and we're fixing things live and stuff. And so this has become a bit different, because obviously with the scale comes different organizational issues that are a bit hard to overcome without hiring people. And so there's the decisions to really scale the team, because we want to make sure that, to provide to all of the community the best customer care we can provide. And so this team should help. This is going to be actually a big team, because by the end of the year, so 6 months from now, it should be at least 3 people that will be dedicated full time on supporting you guys, building your projects, and making sure that when you have some bugs, we fix them as fast as possible. So I'm really excited about this one, because it should help add some fluidity to the overall organization and overall process of delivering new features within WeWeb. So it's going to be exciting. And just to add more to this, I just wanted to announce as well today that some people sometimes they ask on the community, "Are you planning to raise money?" And I'm always answering that raising money is not an end by itself. It's just a mean to finance, to get some money to kind of finance growth. And one of the great news I wanted to share is that those 15 to 20 people will be able to hire them without raising money, because the company is profitable. You guys know it since a while, and thanks to the extra free cash flow that we are generating, we will be able to scale the company without needing more investors. So this doesn't mean that we are not going to raise ever again. It just means that we have the choice, which I think is the best news we can provide with regards to the health of the company, because it means that our growth is sustainable. The scaling of the team will be made in a sustainable fashion. And so adding more funding to the company is not life or death for us. It's really a choice. So we're super excited about this, and so we actually test the waters just to see if we'd be able to raise money if we wanted. I did that in Q1 this year, and we had a couple of amazing term sheets and offers on the table, which we all declined for now because we figured that we really didn't need them to achieve our objectives. But I just wanted to tell the whole community that WeWeb is very healthy and sustainable, and I'm actually very proud of this, because not all startups become profitable that early. And I'm proud of this, but I mean, we should be proud, all of us. I mean, this is really thanks to you guys. So thank you very much for trusting us since the beginning. Thank you very much for making this possible. And thanks to you, the team will be basically tripling, most probably within the next 18 months, and all of this will be done based on a sustainable growth organization. So I'm very, very thankful for this.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of other questions. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
go for
Is
it.
it okay? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So we have Gaspaccio saying. So I'm saying he because I know it's either Frederic or Clément or both. So they introduced WeWeb to about 20 engineering school students today.
Wow. Thank
Epitech,
you.
I believe. And they asked them if one day there would be an education license. So like
Yes, a certification.
no, I think I'm not sure if it's a certification or if it's 50% off, like a discount, an education
Sorry.
discount.
Uh,
I'm not sure. It might be both.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Joyce. It's probably this. So yes, that's something we can work on. Feel free to reach out to me separately, guys, and we can discuss about it. But more than happy to do it. I mean, other platforms they offer it, and I think it makes sense because students usually don't have really the budget to start a project. However, for us, it makes sense to have students using the platform. We did that in the past. I think we did that in Brazil with a couple of users who were also training some university students. We probably did that in France already, but we do that on a case-by-case basis. So if this happens, just feel free to reach out to us, and I'm always happy to discuss the terms and be as generous as possible for students. Yeah.
I think you can answer the certification question, even though it wasn't asked, because I know people ask me all the time.
Yeah, and so the certification will also come one day. We're just thinking about how to structure it. There are really two ways to do this. Either we do this internally, or we do structure certifications together with partners. I'm excited about doing this with partners because they will be able to take this at a different level and scale than us, most probably. But we obviously need to kind of certify the level, and it's good if it's coming from the editor. So most probably this will come as a kind of a co-build certification together with different partners, training professionals who can manage this. So this will come not this year. That's most probably something we're going to work on next year, but this is definitely in the pipe.
And you have another question from Lateral Edge about so the roles are 100% remote. Any indication on operating time zone?
So for now, it's really I think so. That person I mentioned who's going to join the product team is based in India. He's in Hyderabad, and we have someone in Houston. So I think we'll cover a lot of time zones already. The customer care people that we're going to hire will probably cover different time zones as well. So I mean, we really don't. I mean, it's not a critical issue for us. Time zones. The way we work at WeWeb is, we hire people who are leaders and they just own their topics, and then they can work whenever they want, really as long as they deliver. So if wherever you're based in the world, feel free to apply.
Yeah. Okay. Tong has a question about, like, in the academy, can we make more videos about some more specific case studies? For example, build a documents page, build a news page, build a dashboard page with login, sign up, build a page to get real-time data, etc.
Yeah. You want to take this one, Joyce?
Yeah. Yes, we are currently hiring a DevRel, and the role of the DevRel will be to create a lot of that content. So it is, we do have that in mind, and we are also currently hiring education and community lead, and that person will be more focused on visual programming courses and content, and the DevRel will also be educational, but more about use cases, specific use cases like you're mentioning. So yes, definitely something we want to do more.
That's going to be very useful for everyone. So yeah, this should be
Mhm.
on the roadmap, but we need people to help us do this. And so but we are on good way to find those people. So I think hopefully they will be able to start working on this probably in September, something like this. So you guys should see build guides and those type of contents coming up on WeWeb probably in Q4.
Yep. And if it's something you'd like to do, the careers page, don't hesitate to apply. Okay, Jessica, I am taking a screenshot of your feature request. And Fred, I note that you'd like to beta test the table element. Now, a question from Arno. Any ETA for these three topics: server-side rendering, accessibility improvements, and the native mobile apps?
So you know what? Maybe I'll do roadmap presentation, and this will kind of
Yep,
answer some of the questions. So
sure.
yeah, shall I go, Joyce, or do you want me
Yeah,
to?
yeah, go for it. Go
Yeah,
for it.
okay, super. So I'll just talk about the roadmap, in the short term. So basically between now and the end of the year. So the first semester, say from January to now, is really dedicated to three topics. The first one is marketplace and all the connected subject to the marketplace. The second one is to have the authentication on the front side only, so that the self-hosting will be much easier, because today for those people who want to self-host, you need to also deploy a little server, which can create some issues, especially if you need to have this validated by the security department of your company or of the company you're working for. It can create a lot of frictions. And so we are completely revamping the way the authentication is working from a technical standpoint. And it's going to be as secure and as reliable as today. The only difference is that when you deploy something you will have built with WeWeb, you will not need to deploy this server as well. So you will only need to have the front end files being deployed on any servers. And so with that, one of the improvements we'll do with the pricing is that we're going to enable self-hosting even for people who are paying monthly. So it will be really available for everyone. And the files that you will have generated with WeWeb will be deployable really on any type of hosting platforms. So, Vercel, Netlify, CloudFront, wherever you want. And the great thing is that I think for most security departments, it's going to be much, much, much easier to validate the code that is being deployed, because it doesn't have any servers. So the potential security failures are reduced by a very large factor. So this should be really helping pushing WeWeb being seen really as a code generation platform, and not only kind of a full stack type of platform. So very excited about this one. And the last thing is the standardization and the improvement of the performances. So by standardization, I call, there are many elements for which you cannot trigger typical standard actions because they don't behave like standard Vue.js components. So we are completely changing this so that every elements with WeWeb, when you apply standard CSS to it, it will behave as expected. And so that's something that we are working on right now. We are improving the performances. We already started. I think some of you guys had some issues with the performance of the editor, probably in February or March. This should be fixed right now. And so we are also improving the performances of the applications generated themselves. And I mean, I don't want to oversell it, but I've seen the results. It's not in production yet, but it's really outstanding. So hopefully you guys will be satisfied. This should be released, I don't know, maybe July. But this is something that we are working on right now, and that is already being tested internally. So we did a lot of progress. And just one quick word on the marketplace. The marketplace and all the subject connected that we already talked about. All of this will be released on the 26th of June, together with about maybe 15 templates that some of you started to work on. So that's going to be exciting. And then we're going to work on, once all of these standardization, improvements on the performance will have been done. Then finally, we'll be able to work on this table. We'll also improve the calendar element. We'll improve the multi-select. And there are many, standard basic elements that we are going to improve as well, so that you will be able to customize them. They will be much more powerful. And so the objective for us, really, if we take a step back, is to give you off the shelves as many advanced elements as possible, and as many pre-configured elements as possible, so that you can build extremely fast. And at the same time, and this was the challenge, but I think we nailed it, but you guys will tell us when it's live, is to let you customize those elements as much as possible. So WeWeb should be the pixel perfect type of platform to build front ends. And so even if we provide advanced off-the-shelf elements, you should be able to customize them as much as you want, right? And so this was a real challenge from a technical and UX perspective, but I think we found interesting product answers. And so mostly thanks to the components. And so you guys will see when it's live, and you will tell us what you think. But you should have the best of both worlds. You should have a lot of advanced elements off the shelves, and at the same time, total design freedom with those elements. So I hope it's going to work, but that's exciting. And then for the second semester, again,
if I can just link that back to Arnaud's question, the cleaning the DOM, for example, that will help a lot with accessibility. That's one of the things that it will help with. But
it will help.
Keep going.
Yeah, so cleaning the DOM will help accessibilities. It will also help a lot performances, because it will reduce the size of the applications that you guys are generating. So it should be very helpful. But thanks to that DOM cleaning, you will also be able to apply CSS in a much better way. So our objective is that the code we generate doesn't get into your way. And so when you apply some custom code, it should be working as expected. And so we are trying to make this a reality. So optimized DOM is actually going to improve a lot of things from a product.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. And so with regards to accessibility, we didn't really start to kind of frame it. We spoke about it internally. I'm not sure we are going to provide off the shelves for now elements or capabilities that will help you build faster something accessible. But because WeWeb will become extremely standardized, if you want to create accessible applications, you should be able to do it by yourself.
And I think one thing that's important with accessibility is there are different needs. And right now we're talking with two very big corporate customers that have big requirements for accessibility. So if you have requirements, do not hesitate to reach out and send us a list of bullet points that will help the product team kind of prioritize and scope what's needed as well. That will help a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we are very open to talk about it. So if this is something you need to work on, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll review and check whether it's possible to do it or not. And then for a second semester, just to real quick, there are again, so 3 topics. The first one will be to fill out the marketplace, do some improvements on the marketplace, add a maximum of templates and UI kits, and add a lot of off the shelves advanced elements so that you can build faster. The second focus will be collaboration. And so we'll work on branching, we'll work on collaboration logs, we'll work on roles at workspace level. And so for those of you who have larger teams and who needs to optimize for collaboration, these features should help. And so that's going to be a focus between September and December. And the 3 big features that I mentioned should be released in Q4 as well. And the last very big topic will be AI. It's a very important topic for us, because it will be gradually infused everywhere in the UX of WeWeb, with the sole objective to help you build much faster. So the way we think about AI at WeWeb is more like an assistant. And this assistant should help you do a couple of things. The first one is it should help you build your UI faster. And so with that, there is two ways. Either you already have your UI designed somewhere, so Figma, for example, it should help you import your ready-made design in WeWeb much faster. Or you have, say, your design system that already exists in WeWeb. You should be able to request the AI integrated in WeWeb to build you some UI elements based, and that's going to be the power of this, on your design system. So it will be contextualized, and it's going to be able to build for you, small components together with full pages, right? And so, for some of the pages, sometimes you don't want to think too much about the AI, the UI itself, and so the AI will be able to set you up. And then again, the great thing is that whatever will be generated by the AI will be then, in the editor, and it will be completely no code, and then you'll be able to modify it as you wish, right? And so one thing that is very important to us is that whatever the AI generates, you should be able to then modify it with your mouse and keyboard. And with that, you should have, again, the best of both worlds, we hope, because you will have Gen AI integrated in, the power of Gen AI integrated in the editor, and then the power of visual programming to be able to update, edit, maintain, collaborate around those things that will have been generated by the AI. So UI, then the AI should help you build your workflows, which is not the case today. But this, like I can tell you, we already tested it. We did a proof of concept 3 weeks ago when we were all together doing an offsite. And I mean, the whole team was absolutely amazed by the results. We were just typing some, random requests for workflows to be built, and the AI was building it in front of our eyes, and then we could modify it in WeWeb. So this was very exciting. I think these are things that will release along the way. It's not going to be one big AI release at the end of Q4. So whenever things are ready, probably between September and December, we're going to release gradually different things.
And by the way, there's also a big improvement of WeWeb Copilot coming in that release on June 26th.
Yes, true.
So more stability. So some of you have been experiencing issues, more stability, and also now, if the request doesn't work, the prompt will stay, which was a little bit frustrating. So,
and I think we're giving more tokens as well.
More tokens, and also a surprise that I'll keep for our social media accounts.
Okay. and yeah, one last thing I think is very important is that what I mentioned right now is that the AI can do separate tasks, right? You can ask the AI to build one UI element. You can ask the AI to build one workflow. But the main goal for us is that the AI should be able to chain different actions. And so if I can give you an example, it could be, I want to set up my authentication using, using O0 or whatever, set me up. And then the AI will basically come up with a plan on how to do this. So first you need to create a login page, then you need a home page, then you need a sign up form, and then you will need
to enter your API key.
Yeah, your API keys, etc. You will need to manage all the relationship with the backend, etc. It will tell you how to do this, and then you will have a button to execute it. You will ask the AI to do it for you, and the AI will do it in front of your eyes, and it will iterate with you. So, for example, it will generate a first login page, and then it will tell you, are you satisfied with this? You want, some of the things to be changed. And the great thing is, if you think about, for example, the sign up form, the AI will have to think about all of the different little things that sometimes we forgot. For example, there should be an error message when the sign up didn't work, that type of things. And so we're going to train the AI with best practices so that whatever it builds for you, it's going to follow best practices. And so it's going to be able to really, again, assist you in building entire workflows or entire features within one of your application. It will be, again, contextualized. So it will use your design system. It will use your data. It will use your authentication system. So whatever rule you will have set for it, it will just follow it. and then it will deliver by iterating with you. So you will always, interact with the AI, and then whatever is being delivered, you'll be able to change, update, maintain using the visual platform. So I'm actually super excited by this. It goes entirely into the direction of our mission, which is to help our users build their front end faster. And so by coupling Gen AI together with visual programming, I think we're just getting one of the fastest way to build front end ever in history. And so I'm super excited with this. And the more we improve also the output of WeWeb, the more you guys will be in control of whatever is created by the AI, which is not necessarily the case with other platforms, or whenever you ask OpenAI APIs to generate some front end for you, you don't really know the quality of the front end that's being outputted. And so one of the dream we have is that you'll be able to set your own rules of the type of code you want to be generated. Say you want accessibility, for example. Well, the AI will have to generate whatever UI, but it will have to be accessible, you see. And so that you will be in total control of what's being outputted. The AI will help you build entire features, and then whatever is being outputted will be in the visual platform, and you will be able to collaborate and maintain it in time, uh, which will be far easier than if you only prompt to get some code, right? So I think merging those two is actually extremely exciting, and we're kind of probably at a tipping point of how front end is being created, um, in the world. So very exciting.
Sure. Very cool. And so just to tie it back to Anna's question, server-side rendering and native mobile apps are not in the 2024 roadmap,
Yeah. So
because we want to focus on.
yeah.
So sorry, because for server-side rendering, we do have. So it's not planned for the inside the product, but we do have like an idea that might allow you to do server-side rendering.
Yes.
It would be outside of WeWeb, but we would provide a tutorial. I don't know if you had anything, if you had something else in mind.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, that's great. So absolutely, SSR. So we actually did some trials on our side and
exploration, yeah.
exploration, and we did a proof of concept. So we are using Cloudflare to help us do that. And there might be a way to be able to generate to do SSR with WeWeb together with Cloudflare, which is not too hard and not too technical to set up. It's not going to be entirely productized in WeWeb for now, but because we are doing this authentication on the front end side, then eventually we're going to integrate different hosting platforms, and maybe Cloudflare will be integrated and productized eventually. Not this year, but eventually. So SSR, there is a possibility. Today we can call it a workaround.
Yeah.
But there is a possibility, and we're still exploring and testing it. But if it's satisfying, then I think we're going to release some documentation about it probably this summer.
I'm very excited about it because almost all my personal projects involve blogs. So
Yeah, it's going to be very useful, and we want to go into that direction. It's just for now that with competing
yeah,
priorities, we're going to focus
sure.
on what I just listed. However, this is something very important we know for the community, and so we didn't completely forget about it. And I think we found a good way, but we'll be sure probably this summer. And with regards to native mobile applications, we decided not to do it for now, and the main reason is we've been exploring it, obviously, and when you start thinking about it, it's a whole different product, and that's why Flutterflow, for example, is absolutely outstanding at building mobile applications. And although they enable to build web apps, they're not as good as us, right? Because web apps and mobile apps are just total different products. And so from a UX perspective, it's far easier to build a web app with WeWeb than to build it with Flutterflow. And same goes for a mobile application, right? And so if we want it to be good for our users at delivering native mobile applications, this would have required to almost create a second product within the product, which we're not ready for. So the thing, however, that we're going to enable are whatever PWA lets you do, you'll be able to do that with WeWeb, but this is not top priority for us right now. And so I think just recently we released a couple of PWA actions and features. However,
Yes.
to stop there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're stopping there, and we it doesn't include push notifications. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
for now we're prioritizing web and
Yeah.
doing our best to deliver the best product possible.
Exactly. So one of the things to keep in mind when thinking about WeWeb is that our main focus is web applications, and we ought to be the best front end builder for web applications, and we are on our way to become it. And so, if we want to provide top notch UX for building the front end of web apps, there's still a lot of work to do, and so we want to be laser focused on this use case first, and PWA comes second. But native mobile apps, we don't even know. For now, it's
Yeah.
really not planned, and it's kind of backlog.
All right, we've got about 10 minutes left, so I'll do a few quick fire questions, if that's okay, unless you wanted to.
Yeah, sure. We need to
Yeah.
make sure to talk about pricing real quick. And I don't know if it's part of the questions yet, Joyce, or maybe I can just.
I don't know because
Yeah, I'll just
I'm-
mention it in 2 minutes. So basically, with regards to the pricing, for now we're pretty confident that our pricing is well structured for most for most of our users. So we don't really plan to change it, at least until early next year. However, we also hear that there are some frustrations with regards to, for some of you, because you have different ways of using the platform. And so we are doing a bit, some explorations. The first one that we are running right now is, many of you told us that they would like to benefit from the scale features, but the gap from the starter and the scale plan is really too high for some of you. And so we decided to run for 2 weeks a flash sale campaign uh, to sell some scale at a really discounted price, just to test the appetite of the community in this regard. And so that's going to be, this will give us some learning inputs to help us probably, structure better our pricing with regards to the scale. So we're running this for 2 weeks, maybe 1 month, we'll see.
And if you're interested, I'm just sharing the link to Slavo's LinkedIn in the chat. Because basically the idea is, if you're interested, if you want to talk about it or get more information, you should just reach out to Slavo,
Yeah.
and he'll help you out.
Yeah, exactly. And we make it go through Slavo because, again, the objective for us is really to learn. And so Slavo will talk to you, understand your needs, and then provide you with the offer if you're interested, obviously. And this will give us some inputs. So that's one of the things. The other thing that we are testing out right now is for dedicated, mostly enterprise contracts, we are doing only a seat-based type of pricing. And we do that so they have basically a limited number of applications they can build, and they only pay per seat. But these are for pretty expensive contracts, mostly enterprise, like I said. But again, we are doing those different experimentations, learning from them, and then we'll see if we want to restructure our pricing according to those learnings. So again, always feel free to provide us with some feedback with regards to the pricing. We always take them into account. Sometimes we don't really react quickly. It's because pricing is obviously a sensitive issue. Technically speaking, it's always hard to do a price change, but please continue to provide us with your feedback. For us, what matters is that we find a proper pricing that is balanced between obviously generating revenues for us so that we can continue to grow, and delivering as much value as possible for you guys. So please continue, and probably the next price changes will not be before next year. So in the meantime, we'll just continue running here and there a couple of campaigns to learn.
And sorry, I was laughing, not at what you were saying, but because I was reading Fred's comment, who says to you, "Congrats on hiring me." So I think it's an amazing comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred.
It made my day. Jessica is asking about a WeWebCon, like a conference. So maybe not yet, but the DevRel, and we're also hiring a community manager. The idea is we would like to host more meetups around the world if possible, and we will probably tap into the community, so into you guys, to like propose that you know to sponsor some events wherever you're based if you're interested. So definitely something we have in mind.
We'll probably do some things online as well, and maybe
Yes.
some hackathons and that type of thing.
Yes.
And this will be done thanks to the more firepower that the people we are hiring will bring to the team. So, but that's something we have in mind. Yes.
Yeah. And Esteban asked if we've considered creating a community on Discord. Yes, we have, and we experimented with that for a short while last summer, I think it was, or maybe 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. For now, we're staying on the Discourse community forum. The reason for that is that it makes it much easier to find. Like, there's SEO, it's just easier to search. So even though it's kind of old school, it works. It just works. But yeah, I mean, and again, as we hire and we have more time to explore these avenues, you know, to put some energy in those avenues, we'll probably explore that possibility again, for sure. And yeah, Quentin is asking if there are any successful on-premise use cases that you
yes,
can give a high-level overview of.
for sure. So many. I mean, one of the best I can mention is probably there was one here in France with one of the largest companies in France. This is the company selling stamps. You know, the ones that you're putting on your mail, the mail
The
that
post
you
office. Yeah.
that you physically send. Actually, still exists. And so they run a campaign here in France to buy back some stamps. It was something very specific to our country, and I think they transacted millions and millions of buyback of those stamps. And so it was deployed on-prem, obviously. They even did some advertising on the TV, on the main TV channels of the country. They had tens of millions of views on the platforms that were built using WeWeb. And because they managed the backend, they had no issue. And so they could, run the thing. And, we got very proud, us, at least the founders here in France, because we could finally tell our mothers, hey, mom, you want to know what we're doing and understand? Here it is. Like this platform was built using WeWeb and it's very famous. Look at this. It's on the TV. And I think that's one of the best use cases. Another good one I can give is PwC is using the platform extensively. And they are building SaaS applications, or they are building internal apps for their customers that are running data that is very confidential, because PwC usually is involved with financial data, as you know. And so those applications needed to be deployed on-prem, and they are deployed on some servers that PwC manages, and those servers, they don't even have access to internet. And I think it's also a very good example that it just works because, WeWeb eventually is just standard code, and this code is being deployed on-prem, doesn't have access to the internet, runs perfectly, and is making very large international customers super happy. So I think it's another good example.
Yep. And I just shared the link to the replay of one of our webinars in the chat. Jessica is asking if SSR would help with like large e-commerce sites that have thousands of products. Yeah, for sure. For SEO. Absolutely. And Eagle is saying, so you've been having trouble with components every time. Feel free to send me a direct message in the community. We do need to record more videos and have more documentation, but components are definitely they're very hard to understand if you're new to them, but they change your life. So yeah, it's worth investing the time. And Arturo, I took a screenshot of your product feedback, so I'll share it with the team. Vikrant Copilot V2. So like Raphael was saying, it's like the first V2 is coming on June 26th, but there will be it's just a continuous improvement with WeWeb Copilot, so that'll continue. Bertrand is asking if AI will be able to help with consistent UI. I think that's what you mentioned, Raphael. It's the dream. So maybe not in 2024, but we're heading in that direction for sure.
Yeah. I'm confident that actually we'll see good results pretty quickly. Because again, WeWeb, the foundation of WeWeb, everything is standard code.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to apply AI capabilities to standard code. And so whenever we spend 1 week doing something, the results are really, really outstanding. So I'm confident that we should see impressive results already this year.
Yeah. And RJ, long time no see. Good to hear from you. I was
Yeah,
saying
how are
two
you, Rob?
things. First, push notification was one of the biggest thing he was hoping for. So, but we have it in mind. We just can't prioritize everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And also saying, and you can tell this to your mother as well, Raphael. A product he built using WeWeb is going to be demoed at the White House in 2 weeks.
No way. Well, I will tell that to my mom. She's here tonight. I'm having dinner with her, so I will definitely tell her.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Viker, actually, I'm taking. Let me just take that screenshot because I need to share with the team as well. Vikrant is saying Gathertown hackathons would be awesome. Yes, we would
Yes.
like to do this.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's see. I think we're pretty good. More tutorials around start to finish apps. Yes, the DevRel will be doing that for sure. And Eagle, let me screenshot your product feedback as well. So the only fault I found with WeWeb, so it's the management of variables. Actually, that is on the roadmap to make it easier, and it comes in that collaboration part of things that Raphael mentioned.
Yeah.
Just making it easier to build in a way that scales. So managing variables, commenting on your workflows, things like that.
Yeah. One of the things, by the way, I forgot to mention, but I think some of you are waiting for is will enable to add draft page status.
Yes.
And so whenever you publish, those pages will not be published. And this is coming actually pretty soon, I think, Joyce. If it's not in June, it's going to be in July, but that's something that's going to come.
I think so. All right. I think it's right on the hour. I think we've answered all the questions. If you have any other questions that come up, of course, we're available in the community forum. We're also on Twitter if you want to ask questions wherever you want. We'll do our best to answer. As always, it's just such a pleasure. It brings us so much energy to talk to everyone. So thank you so much. And I realize I don't think I have an outro video, so the ending of this webinar will be very brutal. So apologize for that. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you so much for being there, guys. Thank you so much.